right. Welcome to the 404 show on this Friday, July 6th. I'm Jeff Bacalar.
And I'm Justin Yu. This is the show where we go the extra mile.
Yes, we're going the extra mile. It's the end of a good week. We didn't have a full show until the last day today.
It's
I'm
been
excited.
Scattered. I wasn't here for the first part of the week.
Yeah.
Ariel wasn't here yesterday.
You guys are doing something that's getting each other sick.
Yeah.
Just want you to know that. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Nothing wrong with
Were you
that.
sleeping with an air conditioning unit on in your face, Ariel? Is that
I
what
was,
you were?
actually,
Well,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why you're sick
I've
now.
heard
I
about
guess,
that.
apparently.
We got a pretty interesting email about that, which we'll read
Where's
later on.
that?
That sort of justifies my argument. for
Oh,
fan
justify this. We'll get to that
You'll see.
on the second half of the show. Not a whole lot going on today. Very weird week when you put a holiday in Hump Day like
It is
that.
weird.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Makes your whole week turn to crap as far as I'm concerned.
I kind of like it.
No, why? Well, you weren't here Tuesday,
Oh, right.
so
I wasn't here.
What-
I left Monday
you
early.
left Monday early.
Left Tuesday.
This is your first full day.
Yeah.
So, but you're feeling better. Ariel's feeling better.
Feeling better, yeah.
Yeah.
Still sound kind of crappy.
Yeah, you
but
still sound a little weird. That's
Yeah.
fine. Nobody's
cool.
perfect. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. And you're feeling okay?
I'm feeling
And I'm
fine.
feeling
Great.
okay. So that means the second I land in San Diego is when I'm going to start feeling
Yeah.
under the weather.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so thank you, Justin.
You're welcome. I licked your microphone before we started the
Aw.
show, so enjoy.
And I licked my
Cold.
microphone.
The classic pre-show microphone lick.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Always do
You
that.
know he does that.
You know that's part of my routine, Justin.
Ew, look at these microphones. Could you imagine licking all this
Yeah.
cat hair off this phone?
It's
Seriously.
first
It's
off,
just-
Why is there
Disgusting.
cat hair on it?
well, it's cat hair because you're
Because I make out with my cat. before
Clearly.
they
Right.
come to the
you
show.
got to stop doing that. Freak.
Such some dry lips.
Oh, goodness. Let's hop into the story, shall
Let's
we?
do it. We got some good ones today. What do you want to talk about first?
The AOL thing.
Okay, let's talk about it. Go ahead.
So there was this internet thing that went down,
Uh-huh.
and they monopolized all of these compact discs for a very long time.
They really did.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Okay. So this is cool. Like, what was the last history lesson we did? It was on Winamp, right?
Right.
I think it was last Friday.
It was.
actually.
So every Friday we're doing.
Every Friday, just coincidentally,
Yeah, it's a history lesson.
we're doing history lessons, and today we're going to be talking about the history of AOL chat rooms,
Ooh.
as told by AOL's longest-running employee.
Wow. This is really cool because, I mean, go start talking because
Okay.
I have a lot of reminiscing to do.
Yeah, let's do that. So, quick history lesson. This is on Techland, which is a really awesome site. This comes from Joe Schober. Like I said, he's the longest-running employee at AOL. He's
Yeah.
currently their chief architect.
Okay.
And so, a really quick rundown. The AOL chat room started as a product in 1992 when it was initially called People Connection. You know, and they
Flows
had,
right off the tongue.
yeah, and they only had a handful of chat rooms, maybe like under 10.
Okay.
It says with topics ranging from like genealogy to history and strategy games, like tips on how to beat video games. What video games did they have back in 1992?
What are you talking about?
Jaguar?
No, in '92 was it Super Nintendo then?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It might have been, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I
Sega
mean,
Genesis.
Yeah, like if it wasn't then, they were around the corner.
Right.
Mhm.
No, it was definitely by
Genesis
then.
was
Yeah,
definitely out.
out in
Yeah?
92. Definitely.
Okay. See, I need a console history lesson from you.
You need a lot more than that. sir.
So yeah, participation in these chat rooms began to snowball in 1996, and that was pretty largely attributed to like 56K modems getting really popular.
Right.
And that was when AOL also introduced their monthly flat rate
Mhm.
for subscriptions. And before that, you had to pay by the hour, which is ridiculous. Like that preceded
remember
our
that.
internet connection.
No, it didn't.
Really? You
I-
paid for it
yeah.
by
I
the
remember
hour?
that.
Of
Yeah.
course.
No way.
Just because the internet didn't filter out west until you were about 20.
Ew.
I didn't have the internet before AOL. How did you dial in? Like, what ISP did you use?
So, okay. When I first got connected, I did not use AOL.
Yeah.
The first thing I used was an ISP in the New Jersey area that we paid a monthly fee to, and you dialed in, and then you were just connected to the internet.
But what web browser did you use? God, you are
Netscape.
so old.
Netscape.
Oh, okay.
Netscape is what we used. So now this is crazy. So the way we signed up, man, you know, when you're young, you're like, I'll never have crazy old stories that sound old.
Yeah.
Here's one of them. we went to this video rental store, and that is where you somehow.
What is that?
I know. and someone had told me this is how you did it, so I just followed his directions verbatim. I went to this place. It was called Easy Video.
Okay. Easy, right? Like 2 letters.
No, it was the word easy.
Okay.
And we went in. I was like, and I just like, I had like a $20 bill, and I was like, I would like the internet, please.
Like gas, like paying for gas?
Yeah. And I
Wow.
just thought he was gonna give me this box with like Yahoo in it or something.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I'd like to sign up for internet, and I had to buy a copy of Netscape
Wow.
for like $30 or whatever it was. So the whole thing, he gives me this freaking floppy disk in return. I get home. And when you put in the floppy disk, it installed Netscape and then got you through the process to dial into one of their many telephone numbers that you would connect to in order to access the internet.
Wow.
I didn't get on AOL until many years later when and then you could bring your own connection to AOL. It was like bring BYOB, but it was BYOC. Right? Bring your own connection.
Got it.
And then you just hooked right in. So
Right.
first you had to dial into your ISP, and then you click the TCP/IP.
Right, I remember that.
AOL,
Mhm.
and then you were in. And it was like an
Wow.
instant welcome. It wasn't like you had to
Right.
do that to sign into your internet.
Mm-hmm.
But
But once
AOL
you
was
were
quick.
connected, you could just
Yeah,
get into AOL.
it was nice.
Wow. Did
Yeah.
you guys have that too?
No, I remember they had those free discs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of
where
course.
it's like whatever hours or whatever.
The best were like
AOL.
those were the passwords. It was like pineapple feet,
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that. It was
Yeah.
strange. So that's what you did.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Prodigy?
Of course.
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
what we had
Definitely.
before
Yeah.
AOL.
You're old
Yeah.
school,
it was,
man.
It was kind of the same thing as
Yeah.
AOL though.
For
Mhm.
sure. It's like a portal and had access to different like content silos
Yeah.
and chat rooms and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Those discs were really, really popular. It was back
Yeah.
in like '98,
Mm-hmm.
and according to this article, it was around AOL 4.0 when it
Mm.
came out.
Oh, that was
AOL
like the
4.0
shiny.
was crazy. That was
yeah.
when they started
Yeah.
introducing the 3 boxes for the sign-in, for the login screen. You remember that? Like one handshake would be the first box, and
Yes,
then it would
okay.
kind of scroll
Progress
over to the
over,
next
yeah.
ones, right? And this is a pretty interesting stat. I guess back in AOL back in 1998 when AOL 4.0 was introduced,
Mm.
AOL, the company, actually used all of the worldwide CD production companies in the world. They
What?
used every worldwide CD production for several weeks just to produce those free CDs.
You know
Not
what?
a single music CD or software CD or anything else was created in those weeks in those factories,
that
except
almo-
for AOL.
that makes sense though.
Because they were
Yeah.
everywhere.
They were
Yeah,
everywhere.
the CDs were everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember in college, people made decorations with them.
Yep.
You know, they were like,
Mhm.
"Oh, where'd you get that cool mirror?" It's like, "Nope, 40 AOL CDs."
Right. Yeah.
You know,
They would like hang them above like baby carriages and stuff.
As
so-
mobiles.
Yeah, as mobile, so they could fall asleep. You know, because they would glitter and
the
stuff.
glistening light.
Yeah,
You put your
yeah.
baby right to bed.
In my plums. You could feel it in your plums.
You could feel it. That's how pervasive the AOL disc was.
Right.
It was just so funny. I remember getting those little like tin boxes
Mm,
with them
mhm.
inside
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
They'd pop them in everywhere.
I remember when you would buy a CD at Sam Goody, right? Like they would already have them in the bags, like the
Yeah.
shopping bags,
Yep.
and then you would just
Yep.
open it up, be like, "What the hell? I already have AOL."
Yeah.
And like
Give me
getting one
this.
was such a big deal. And correct me if I'm wrong, but for a very long time you could get away with just signing up over and over again.
Right? Yeah, you
Couldn't
didn't have to pay.
Mhm.
Yeah. How did that work? I didn't understand.
Well, didn't you usually have to give them your credit card?
That's what I thought.
And then usually when it canceled, you had to call, or when the month was up, you had to call and cancel. But
Mm.
then they would usually give you another free month.
So
That's
it
how
was,
it worked for me.
it was like
anyway.
this never-ending spiral.
Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah. it's pretty cool.
So after that, back in 1998, it really snowballed from there up to 17 million AOL subscribers in 1999, and that's where the history lessons end because after that it all kind of went downhill for AOL as we know now. Of course, like they own like HuffPo and all that stuff, but
Yeah, AOL's become more of almost like an ad agency.
Right.
now, you know, I feel like they got into a different side of the business.
right,
You know, don't write them off though. They continue to make money.
right,
You know, I feel like there was a big sort of school of thought that they were just going to go out of business,
Mhm.
but they switched gears and they own Engadget and all those sites too. They have a huge blog network.
right.
They're doing okay.
But man, talking with strangers in AOL chat rooms is like a very fond memory.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I thought the internet was.
Yep.
I had no concept of really what the internet really was. I thought chat rooms was the internet.
Right, and that was
you
all
know?
there was.
Yeah,
It was. And I was
exactly.
like, man, who?
Yeah.
And I remember getting to the point where maybe I was 13, 14, and people would be like, man, what? You know, the internet's just AOL.
Yeah.
AOL's got a monopoly on this thing, and
Mhm.
it just wasn't the case. There was this whole other side.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we've come to the portion of this conversation where we all reveal what our first AOL screen names were. I think we did this a long time ago with Wilson, but I forgot, and Ariel and Richard weren't here at the time, so I want to go around and do this again.
Can I be totally honest?
Please
with this?
do.
I never. The one I use now, the one I'm not giving away because I use that for a lot of stuff to this day.
Okay.
The one I'm,
I know
I'm
what that
talking
one
about
is.
the S. That one was pretty much my first one because up until, I guess
You use
college.
the same one?
Well, no, I started that one in like maybe when I was a freshman in high school,
Right.
and up until then I was always using fake ones. I was always changing it and always, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I was. I'm serious.
You don't remember any of the other ones you had?
Oh man, they were all offensive and ridiculous.
Right.
A lot of-
Okay.
and a lot of like X's.
Oh, right, like lowercase and uppercase
Yeah.
X's.
Yeah.
What about you,
So
Richard?
Cool.
Mine always had something to do with the Beatles. Like,
Hmm.
I think one of them was Sergeant Pepper. And I
Okay.
don't even think I had any numbers after. I think it was just Sergeant Pepper.
Wow.
And
You got the first one.
yeah.
There's
That's
no
sick.
way you'd be able to get that
I wish
now.
I
I
got
know.
Jeff. Doesn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
I think I had the Walrus one time.
Oh,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
really were
good
into the
one.
Beatles,
Yeah.
weren't
awesome.
you? That's awesome. What
Ariel?
about, yeah, Ariel.
My
get-
first one was, it had something to do with Emmett Smith because he was like my favorite football player at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
What number was he? Like,
I don't know.
22
You're
or
asking
something?
Justin.
Me? I don't know why you're looking at me. My heart just skipped a beat. I don't even know who that is.
I don't even know.
it was like Emmett Smith 22 or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Something dumb. But I was always in the sports chat rooms at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And you?
Was
Was it the
that's pretty
letters A,
embarrassing.
Z, and N?
Yeah,
in
there's
there?
AZN and then X's Little Romeo Honda X.
Oh,
Integra
Honda?
GSR.
No, I'm just kidding. My first, and I think I've told you this before, it was Street Dreams,
Nice.
but with a Z at the end.
That's not the worst.
Because I was really into Nas at the time.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was like really, really into that song.
That's cool.
I like listened to that so much, and that was my first pretty embarrassing
I
screen.
feel like one of the earliest ones had to be like Rancid Triple X or something like
yeah.
that, or like Punk Ska Kid 59,
Right.
or something like that.
Right.
Something super lame.
The days of girls doing the uppercase, lowercase, uppercase,
Alternating,
lowercase,
yeah.
alternating thing are over, right? No one does that anymore.
Yeah, I haven't
No.
seen
It takes
that.
way too much
I
energy.
still see it every now on Twitter.
Really? That- I-
Twitter's become that sort of AOL chat room 2.0.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget when I was never a big AOL chat room guy. I was into IRC back then,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you know IRC had much more to offer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Literally. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I was hanging out. That's where I was spending
man,
time.
I would troll chat rooms like all day long. Like I would just like make fun of people. Or I would go in and post like giant ASCII drawings.
Yeah.
You know that I had like copied from other websites of like Homer Simpson's face or something. You know, like
Right.
I would love doing that. Just pissing people off in chat rooms. Pretty much occupied all my time.
Yeah. Troll from the start, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Born a troll.
And
always a
now
troll.
we can't talk about AOL chat rooms without talking about AO Hell,
Oh yes.
the punters, all those
Mhm.
things that you used to be able to use a hacked
Yeah.
version of AOL that would
Right.
get you access that you weren't really allowed to have.
Mm.
What else was there?
There were. Wasn't there a thing where you could open someone's CD drive just by sending them a message on chat?
Yeah,
I
something
forget
like
what that command was, but you could open their CD. It was like Coaster, I think, was part of the.
It was
program.
called Coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
weird.
didn't
I
know
remember
this.
that. There's a lot of AOL. And
Hacks.
I wish someone could come bring them up in the chat room.
Right.
There's just a lot of AOL mods out there.
Juarez progs.
Right.
I haven't even heard those two words
No,
in
it's-
10 years.
It's wares, dude.
Wares.
It's wares.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a very. I think that's disputable.
No, I think
Is it Wares or
Wares.
Juarez?
Juarez for the noobs because
Mm?
Juarez, it's not like some town in Mexico.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It comes from
Where like software.
software.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not
Have you heard people call it Juarez before?
Yeah, and I'd spit in their face because they're freaking stupid.
Well, it's hard because the R in Juarez is always capitalized, so you think that's like two separate words.
If that's how you have to rationalize it to yourself, you know, be happy.
Good times, noodle salad.
Exactly. No, but that's the situation. I remember that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of dispute over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was big. All right. Anyway, enough reminiscing. We got to get back into the present.
I kind of want to stay in AOL land.
You can get AOL again if you want. They still
Welcome.
offer it as a paid service.
What is it up to now?
It's like AOL 14 or something.
AOL 68.
Still costs money.
Yeah, but no, don't forget, AOL turned free.
What's that?
AOL, before it left relevancy,
Right.
it was free.
Right. When they realized people didn't want to pay for browser access.
After everyone had cable internet access,
Mhm.
it turned into just another website, basically. And what
Right.
they were doing, you were just being presented the AOL experience
Mhm.
in its own sort of entity as a piece of software.
Right. Well, there's at least still one person that has downloaded the software and uses it to this day, and that would be my neighbor.
Well, I'm sure there's still people who use it.
I've told you this before,
Yeah.
right? Like my neighbor that I share a wall with in my apartment building still has AOL and can't figure out how to turn off those notification sounds because every 5 minutes I'll hear a or like you got mail.
The
You know, like I've
best.
heard it.
Well, my mom still uses AOL mail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is crazy.
At AOL.com.
Yeah, but I think I was just about to give out the name. But remember, the best was when you were in college in a dorm,
Mm-hmm.
and you know people would just blast their speakers all day long, and everyone had
Yeah.
their door open. You would hear the door, that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
or like when it opened up, like
The
a
creak,
squeak, like
yeah.
it was crazy. Just ka-choo.
Yeah.
And when someone signed off, that you were friends with, you knew when you signed off, you were gonna hear that door slam
Yeah, for sure.
70 times echoed down the hall.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Good
It's pretty
times.
funny. Oh, look at these reminiscent days we're having.
Yeah.
It's great.
Feeling
great.
old.
Feeling old. That's what we do here.
Okay, let's talk about sports because you bring up Emmitt Smith.
Mhm.
I don't know who that is, but I'm assuming he's an athlete.
What time out? What sport?
Football.
Okay.
He said it.
Oh, you
already.
did? Oh, you did?
I'm just a
Yeah, I
good
said it.
listener. I don't
Yeah.
know football. But
Would you have known?
yeah, I would have known that.
I don't
You-
know about that.
Emmitt Smith, he helped Marty McFly go back in time to
Right.
save the future.
You
I
are
got
correct.
that. Yeah, let's talk about soccer adapting new goal line technology.
Yes, I've heard about this.
Yeah, so you want to talk about it?
No, I want you to talk about it, and I will comment on it. Like
Okay,
we always do.
well, this is like all stuff that I'm not gonna sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
here.
because I feel like I happen to really like soccer.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really do. It's like the distant cousin of hockey, in a weird way.
Right.
It
Okay,
is.
but more running, and less blades.
Less ice.
Yeah, a little bit warmer.
Little warmer, less ice.
Yeah.
More stamina
Got those
required.
balls too.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. This shows how little I know about soccer. But the ball must completely cross the goal line in order for that to count as
Right.
a point.
Same with hockey.
Right. Yeah. I can't just like fall on the line
Right.
or whatever. Anyway, so I guess in the past, there's been problems with just the ref seeing whether or not the ball is crossed, and in order to do that, they have to bring up the replay on the television or like really do like a vision, like a line vision, next to it to determine whether or not it's on or
Sure.
off.
Right.
Anyway, the International Football Association board apparently just approved 2 new systems that will really help those refs determine whether or not the ball has crossed the line. 2 things. One's called Hawkeye. The other's called Goal Ref.
Cool.
All right, and Hawkeye is mostly used in cricket and tennis tournaments,
Mm.
but they're adapting it to use with soccer now, and that uses a series of 6 cameras at each goal, set up on the post to track the flight of the ball. And in conjunction with that, they also use software to triangulate the location of the ball. And then a radio signal is sent back to the ref to a device that he carries on his belt, and that'll tell him whether or not the ball has crossed the line. What's crazy, though, is that it does it in a second.
Yeah.
So, like that radio signal transmits it immediately so that they can make the call.
I'm surprised this is as big of an issue as it makes this sound.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like soccer goals are pretty definitive.
Mm-hmm.
The ones at least I've seen.
Yeah,
there
like
was
how
one
often
play
are they just
recently,
landing on the line?
or where it's like a goalie is pushed up against the post and he sort of has to make a play. I had seen something recently, maybe from the Euro Cup, where there was a play where they were really, they couldn't tell whether or not it was in or not. But soccer ball is kind of big.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
soccer ball is big. It's not like a hockey puck where, many times this season this happens in hockey where they're like, there's just inconclusive evidence. I think the technology, and I've been asking for this for a while. And I'm
For
sure
hockey?
For hockey, man.
Yeah.
That to me, like, pucks go in and out of the net sometimes and no one sees it.
Yeah.
Right.
And the game goes on, and it's on until the next whistle where they look back and they're like, that actually went in and out really quick and no one saw it. So I feel like that technology would really be useful in hockey, also because there's a lot more scoring in hockey than there is in football. Football, the European football is what I meant.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's got to be harder with soccer, though, because the ball itself is a circle. With a puck, it's flat, so you can tell where it's standing. Whereas with a ball, like the contact point to the ground is kind of hard to see because it's convex. Right? Does that make sense? Like the contact point is.
Your argument about hockey is not
ball.
right, but what you're saying about soccer is true. It's it's tough to tell.
Right.
The puck actually has been known to go on its side before.
It has happened.
Yeah,
I didn't think
it has happened before.
Yeah.
It's not like NHL '94 where it just stays
right
on the end. But no, yeah, I don't know. It's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost $200,000 per stadium to install it.
Yeah.
So hey, soccer's the most popular sport in the world, though. I guess that and cricket, so they can afford it.
Yeah. The other option, the goal ref option, puts a chip in the ball itself, and then when it crosses the goal post, it'll like emit notification.
Yeah, but isn't that imperfect? Because if the chip is inside the ball, I would imagine it's either on the perimeter or the you know what I mean?
Oh, right. So you're saying, like, unless it's the size of the ball.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or maybe it's on either side of it, you know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking that when it crosses the line, it should explode. And that way you would know conclusively if it has passed or not.
Even if the goalie's holding it and he gets pushed into the net, that ball should still explode, so it takes out the goalie with it.
Exactly.
I would watch hockey if it did that.
If a puck exploded every time, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. But yeah, that's cool. I'm always happy to talk about sports technology like that. I find that fascinating.
Yes.
All right, I want to talk about British Airways. The reason we named our show title that we go the extra mile is because British Airways is actually going to start Googling passengers before boarding.
Yeah.
Now I think I'm going to England in December.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll let
Why?
you guys know that for the first time right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's our 10-year anniversary of being together, my wife and I.
Yeah.
Not of being married, just of being together. So we figured we might as well leave the country and celebrate. So I think we're gonna go, but we might be Googled before we get on this British Airways flight.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy. So last year, I remember we talked about British Airways when they started allowing passengers to text message each other.
Right.
And they were the first ones to do that before JetBlue. But now British Airways is providing their flight attendants and staff at the check-in desks with iPads.
Mm-hmm.
And they're spending a lot of money to do this, and it's called the Know Me system, right? And they're going to give them to flight attendants and the staff in order for them to look up passenger names on Google Images so that they'll recognize them prior to them arriving at the gate.
It's like, see this guy?
So
We
they
got to
can
look
greet
out
you.
for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that what it is, to greet you?
Well, okay, so it's twofold. One, they want to make it a more personal experience by saying, like, hey, Jeff, like, we value your like your experience or whatever. And so they'll know you, right? It's like a more personal thing. And the other side of it is that, if you've made complaints in the past, they'll basically have, like, a dossier on you, online, where they can, like, take notes and send them to all the other iPads and let them know, like, they say that, they're going to go the extra mile. And if passengers have encountered problems in the past, they can help. But I really think it's just more of a red flag thing. Like, oh, this guy's trouble. Like don't let this like Alec Baldwin type guy on the plane.
Yeah. Google's not always right either.
No.
And is everyone gonna have their picture show up when they're Googled? Is that, you know what I mean?
And believe it or not, other people show up when you Google your own name. Like, there are more people named Justin Yu than just this guy.
Really?
So,
Apparently, yes.
and what if your name is like Steve Williams or something like that?
Right.
Thousands of results.
Exactly. Or
So-
or Bob Smith. Oh, here comes Bob Smith. Sweet. There's 700,000 Bob Smiths in the world.
Right.
I don't get it.
Not to mention, it's just, I don't know. I think it's a huge invasion of privacy too.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Well, I don't know if it's an invasion of privacy. That information's there.
Yeah.
It can be obtained.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like a silly way to sort of do reconnaissance on people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially how inaccurate and potentially unreliable all that information
Right.
is.
Right.
Yeah.
Is this gonna slow down like boarding time too?
That's what I was gonna say. Is I don't
Yeah.
want to be waiting there while this guy learns how to like hunt and peck through his virtual keyboard to bring up my
Yeah,
name.
Because it'll be the first time they've seen an iPad.
Yeah.
When they go, when they're letting you on the plane. It'll be the first time this guy's ever seen one. Oh man, I got to learn this whole thing.
That'll
right
be
now.
my luck. Yeah.
Knowing you for sure.
You know, like I could see iPads being implemented well through, you know, like the guys on the plane, like if they
Right.
wanted to like serve up drink orders in a more
course.
efficient way
Of
or
course.
whatever. But this isn't the right way to go about
Yeah.
it.
No, it's not, and it's a stupid story too. It's bad publicity.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you know, if I'm hearing this, I don't want to now. Okay, great. I don't want to fly British Airways now.
Right.
You know, who knows what this agenda is right here?
Mm.
But that's the story. All right, you want to take a break?
Sure.
We'll take a break. When we come back, maybe a story or two, but we also have emails to get to, and you're just gonna Google my name and see what turns up.
This
Here.
picture shows it.
We'll be back in a second. Stick around. All right, welcome back to the 404 show.
Mm.
I do that all the time.
Super moonwalking.
Super, is that what it's
That's
called?
what it's called.
Just watched a guy looking like he was just skating backwards.
Yeah.
Imagine a moonwalk but running backwards.
Yeah, he was running backwards doing the moonwalk.
The moonwalk extreme.
I feel like he wouldn't have been able to do it if the street wasn't wet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know?
He looked like he had like lunar shoes on too. They were like
He was just-
bright yellow.
How
He
do
was
you
like
know
cross
you could do that?
Yeah, right. How does that
Crazy.
happen?
How did he not fall?
Did he need special shoes for that?
Probably.
Go to the 404.cnet.com and watch this video. Tell us what you think. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Can you moonwalk? Anyone?
No.
Guys
I
moonwalk?
used to
No.
moonwalk when I was
Really?
a little kid.
No
Yeah?
way.
I was a big Michael Jackson fan as a little kid.
course.
Big
so
time.
I don't know if I could do it anymore. I should try.
Yeah. Mm.
Man, what was the secret?
You
'Cause
would push off of your toe,
Yeah.
and then like you make it look like your back heel is floating.
Right.
You know,
So
so,
it-
so you push off one foot and you make it look like your other foot is floating, and then you just do it like that.
Right.
So it was trickery.
Kind of, yeah.
I think most people make the mistake of dragging their toe back, but you actually drag
Yeah.
the foot that's down back, and then
Yeah.
right when you pop it up, the other one goes down. Like,
Yeah,
you have to
exactly.
get the timing right.
I don't think anyone's come up with a better dance move since the moonwalk.
Oh man, that was
No.
the best.
Like even David Blaine hasn't touched that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he levitates, and
dance
people are
moves.
like, "But can you moonwalk?"
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't care if you're a foot off the ground,
Right.
You big dummy. You know,
What other
moonwalk
like?
for me.
There are no other good dance moves.
No,
No, there
I-
hasn't been a good one in a while.
They come and go. There's
Yeah.
fads. They come
Yeah.
and go, but
Like the Dougie,
The Dougie,
whatever that crap is.
Yeah.
But the moonwalk is here to
Cat
stay.
Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. I like the Bernie. Have you seen people Bernieing
Oh,
on
like
YouTube?
Bernie,
yeah.
yeah,
Lomax?
like do it like Bernie.
Bernie
Uh-huh.
Lomax.
Like, yeah, like just
Yeah.
like
Walk
around like a zombie?
Yeah.
Run over and then, like,
That's the best.
Yeah.
Look up Bernieing on YouTube. It's
I
so
wish
awesome.
I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to be Bernie Lomax for Halloween so bad, and I couldn't get the costume together.
Right. Why?
It's a tough
pretty
costume.
easy. No.
You'd be surprised. Some of that '80s garb is not that easy to acquire.
Oh.
You need like those parachute pants.
Mhm.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do it. I would. Oh man, Bernie. There it is. Watch all these people burning.
Just burning in
That's
public.
so good. Look at that.
So good.
Yeah.
This person's thrilled.
Oh,
I'm
I
sure.
love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty good.
Anyway, burning is pretty good.
It's
Move
coming back. Burning is making a comeback. I call it Lomaxing.
it.
It's a great name. All right, before we get to, we have a video we want to share with everybody. But first, I want to talk about, there's a couple stories I feel like we should get to.
Okay.
The first one, and these are more just headlines. I read something on Boing Boing that said people from Alabama were celebrating 4th of July by firing guns into the air.
Oh.
Okay.
Mhm.
This is what did you guys know that this like happens in America?
Yeah, I feel like we
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about this every year. Just like
No,
some hillbilly city in the South firing guns for 4th of July.
This actually happened in the Bronx.
Did it really?
Yeah, there was people shooting guns
Yeah,
in the
you heard-
Bronx.
you
yeah,
heard it?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
They're just
tons.
like psh, psh.
yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
that's sad, but it's ridiculous. In Birmingham, Alabama,
Yeah.
there were 1,098 incidents of gunfire, celebratory gunfire.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how these people celebrate for their like bang bang, like Yosemite Sam sort of crap.
Right.
But what's weird and kind of interesting, in 2011 there were only 75 gunshots recorded. In 2010, 495, and then it shot up to almost 1,100 in 2012. But the really sort of interesting thing is that the police department down there has built in a detection system that's able to distinguish between gunshots and fireworks.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy? So with all their like ass backwards hillbilly population that's just like firing guns into the air
Uh-huh.
haphazardly, they've devised technology that will actually tell the difference between gunshots and fireworks. Am I wrong in asking like where do these bullets finally fall
That's
to
what
the
I was gonna
earth?
ask.
Not at
yeah.
all. They
Yeah.
fall somewhere.
They fall
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's happened before where people have died for
Mhm.
sure.
Oh
It's
my
for sure
God.
happened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1,100 freaking incidents of gunfire going into
Mhm.
the air. I mean, I know nobody lives in Alabama, so there's less of a chance of it hitting anybody.
Oh.
But still, what the hell is that?
Yeah. That's crazy. And then as it
That's
gains
not
speed
cool.
going back down, it'll
Yep.
slice someone right in half.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it won't.
Like dropping a penny off the Empire State Building.
Which is the biggest wrong thing. Like, that is such a myth.
Did you know that's the #1 entry looked up in Snopes.com?
Oh, my God.
No, really?
Yeah, it's the penny dropping and slicing someone in half off the Empire State Building.
It wouldn't even hurt if you got hit with a penny, I feel like.
You don't think so?
No, it doesn't, it's not heavy enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It just floats.
But if you dropped a bowling ball and a penny off the Empire State Building at the same time,
You know the answer to
which
that.
would hit first?
You know the answer to that.
The penny. The penny would hit first. Look it up in
The
Snopes.com.
feather would.
the
The feather would.
The feather would hit the penny first.
Yes. Oh, my God.
That's pretty scary. I'm surprised there's not more deaths of bullets falling from the sky
right?
in
Yeah,
Alabama.
Am I, are we right? Are we crazy?
No, I think it's crazy.
I don't understand. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
When you said the penny and the bowling ball thing,
Yeah.
in a vacuum, it's one thing.
It would be the same. It would
In a
fall.
vacuum, it's one
Right.
thing. In the real world, the penny would lose
Right. Because-
speed. It would lose like velocity.
Right.
Yeah.
But theoretically, they would
Yeah, right.
supposedly
right.
the whole
In a
gravity is
vacuum.
the same on
In a
both.
vacuum.
Right. Right.
Just want to make sure.
yeah,
make sure
yeah,
we're all on
yeah.
the same page with that.
Okay,
right? Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
What
and then,
else?
and then finally, before we get to the video, I want to talk about Best Buy
Mm-hmm.
and that they're laying off 650 members of the Geek Squad.
Good.
Good is right. I guess they're not geeky enough. You know what? It makes sense. I don't know why. It just does.
I think it makes sense because they've gotten so much bad PR lately.
Well, that's what you're right about. All these stories of people finding out, like, oh, they were in my porn folder.
Right.
Oh, they like sent all my friends emails of me doing terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
They left a cupcake in my computer. You hear about that one?
Yeah.
Like, they left a cigarette in there. Just terrible things you hear about the Geek Squad
Right.
doing.
Right.
Well, I feel like they've lost a lot of credibility, you know? And you definitely know somebody. Everybody knows somebody that could fix their computer.
Oh, that's what I was going to
You
say
know,
next. Is that
and
the Geek
that's-
Squad is everywhere,
Right. The Geek Squad's everywhere. It's in your home. It's in your backyard. It's in your
Mhm.
office. It's in your house.
or
so.
you're the Geek Squad.
Or you-
yourself. If you don't
and
know anyone that, if you don't know anyone that's a part of your Geek
You
Squad,
are the Geek
you are the
Squad.
Geek Squad.
Exactly.
100%.
You can't tell anyone at the poker table the sucker. Guess who the sucker is? It's
Poor
you.
guys, though. Where are they going to work? You think they're just going to get filtered over into Best Buy and like be employees? Like, take
No.
off that Geek Squad shirt, put on this
I
blue
don't.
polo.
I don't know. I mean, the whole Geek Squad connotation thing was pissing me off to begin with, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's gonna happen with these people. Maybe they'll get real jobs,
Oh.
like in IT.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Where
Instead
they'll
of just,
really
like,
needed.
instead of just like setting up some grandmother's email account or something
Right.
like that. We did not bring this up, and we should have a long time ago. Go to the link over there, the fingers web thing.
Oh, I don't want to.
Why is that?
Because it's embarrassing for us.
It's embarrassing, but we got to talk about it. Somebody put this in our Reddit, and we sort of let it fall through the cracks. I don't know who did this. It's done by a site called Fingers Web. I guess they're like little custom internet websites for a specific topic. Well, anyway, somebody made a little page for us about our Comic-Con 2012 trucker hat giveaway.
Yeah, and we were talking about how we both wanted to dress up as Robin.
Right. So
For
let's just
Comic-Con.
scroll through all of these ridiculous Photoshop jobs.
Look at all those trucker hats.
What is going on here?
One for every day of the month.
I don't understand who did this. Didn't we not find out?
How come you get to be the buff Robin? And look at me, like my belt is falling off.
Yeah, because
Why
you're
is my
the
belt so saggy.
because you're the weak ass Robin who didn't eat his vegetables growing up.
My tights look baggy.
Yeah, they are.
That's like not even
baggy.
my real body. He just
Although-
photoshopped into some skinny dude.
Although my Robin is a bulgeless Robin, which is
Yeah.
upsetting me as well. But
Yeah,
anyway,
you got tranny Robin.
tranny Robin. But keep
Trobin.
going. The fun never ends. I mean, we have.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
In this one, you get a chick, and I have a kid. I have a
Like a
white
little
kid.
boy.
you have literally a 6-year-old boy.
This looks like Scott
I have-
Stein's kid.
I know. I have a supermodel. I have a very curvaceous and busty supermodel.
Right.
You
and
have some freaking kid who got lost in the mall.
My crotch is right in the face of this kid. That's-
Now everyone just wants to hang out with me.
oh,
in
there you
this
go.
next
Now you got a
photo.
little family here.
I don't understand who did this. Did we find out about this?
I think there's this guy, Steven.
I don't. Steven.
Yeah.
Next one is at JFK Airport.
Why?
Why?
What?
There's
Oh, it's at the
now
dog
look,
park.
Now look, if you look closely in this one, there's a bacon sundae.
Right, here you go.
This is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bacon sundae. I'm trying to look everywhere for more
Who's that
Easter
sitting
eggs.
down?
Yeah,
I
who's
don't
the
know.
lady?
Oh,
Back-
here's 50 Shades of Grey in the corner here. You see
yeah,
that?
there you go. Oh, nice. oh,
Um,
wow.
And then a fire hydrant for some
So
reason. 'cause it's a
weird,
dog
right?
park.
Let's keep going through.
Yeah, cool.
Now
boots,
we're
Justin.
like in the Lincoln Tunnel, I suppose.
Right.
I don't know what that's about. The next one is a photo of some Batgirl, and we're in the background checking her out at Comic-Con.
What a babe.
The next one, the base station's where we're at. I guess this is the restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
Lou and Mickey's, or Mickey's and Lou, whatever the
Someone
hell
went
it's called.
all out with this.
And dude, the next one is our border run. We're at the border of Mexico,
Oh, nice.
and you and I have seemingly been taken into custody.
I like that.
And then I think he finished. Oh no, we're not done.
Oh, we're in
Legoland. we're at-
Legoland in California.
After you
now.
got taken into custody.
because Legoland's in Mexico.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where everyone goes.
And there's the kid in the back there just
Yeah,
trying to get
hanging
in.
out.
Don't
So
forget about
weird.
the kid. And here we are at, what is this? SeaWorld?
SeaWorld. Look at the kid on the top of Shamu's face.
That's pretty cool.
What the heck? This is so weird. This is not the weirdest thing you've
This is
ever
very
seen.
bizarre.
Very strange.
Ah, here we go. Awesome. Here's that Los Angeles Cal Worthington commercial
Right.
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah.
we were talking about.
Well, whoever did this, you think it's Steven who
Well,
did this?
according to this, it says this might be the webmaster for Fingers Web. I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone did it.
Either way,
Go on the Reddit page. and
it's
check it
funny.
out.
Go to Reddit,
Mhm.
check it out. We'll link to it in the show notes today as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, whoever you
Good
are at
stuff.
Fingers Web. That crap is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Let's talk about our own beer that we're having
Do it.
made for us. The gentleman who's doing this is Professor Jeff. He says, "Hey guys, I thought I'd share with you the progress of the 404 beer.
Mm.
It's a double IPA with Australian Galaxy hops. It should be ready soon, and then he's gonna send it out to us.
Yeah.
Let's check out this video of its progress.
Okay.
So here we are seeing the beer making process. I don't think Justin can open it.
There it is.
There it is. The beer making process. So what you do is you take an old Poland Spring bottle and you you fill it up with fermented. I don't know what. I don't know how you make beer, but he's this is what Professor Jeff's doing. For
That's a
us.
lot of beer, too.
It's a lot of beer.
I hope he
Don't
sends
send
that
us
to
all that beer.
No?
No.
Because
Maybe
you're going to
just-
have to drink it all.
Maybe just like a 6-pack of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess it's going to be called 404 beer. So thank you, Jeff. It's going to be sweet. And that's about it.
Chat room makes a good point. This video does suffer from vertical video syndrome.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
it
say that.
does.
You know, you gotta turn that thing over, landscape that shit.
Yep.
Just gonna go ahead and
No,
cut.
you're right. No,
Because
it's
that
fine.
really pisses me off.
All right, landscape it.
I
man.
hate
That's
VBS.
what, that's
I hate
what you
it
got to
too.
do. Yeah. All right, you live, you learn, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's going to do it for us today, guys. 866-404-CNET. That is our number. If you want to email us over the weekend, the 404 at cnet.com is how you do it. Check out the Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at the 404. And make sure you head on over to our Reddit page, the404.reddit.com. I think that's it. Again, next week we'll probably only have a Monday show, and then Justin and I get ready to go out to San Diego for Comic-Con 2012. You can follow us out there while we're out there. Follow us on Twitter, and then we're having the meetup a week from tomorrow, Saturday the 14th,
Yeah.
at Lou and Mickey's across from the San Diego Convention Center. We're going to be having all kinds of fun, free booze, free food,
We got a couple.
trucker hats.
That's right. We got a couple emails about some of the younger listeners that were attending Comic-Con that wanted to meet up with us,
Can they
but
do that?
they cannot because it's at a bar. So
Are
you
you
can't go to
sure,
the
though?
official meetup. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, Lou and Mickey's is a bar, so.
Right, but they might let them
Assuming?
in. It might be like an all ages 21 to drink
Could
sort
be.
of thing.
Yeah, okay. We'll check on that. Maybe there's a wristband system, but
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Last year they checked IDs.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they
okay,
did.
well, that's
so-
good to know. All
Either
right.
way, we'll be prowling the floor, too,
Yeah,
so, you
we'll
know,
be
just
out
look
there.
Just
for
hang out
us.
outside. There's so many places to hang out.
Yeah.
over there,
Yeah.
man.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll get you beer. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to break the law while we're out
Not
there.
for free.
Not for free, at least. Right. So everyone have a great weekend, and we'll be back on Monday, probably. If that changes, we'll let you know. Until then, I'm Jeff Bacalar.
And I'm Justin Yu.
It's the 404, high-tech, low-brow. We'll see you guys on Monday. Later.